$10 a month pledge, that $120 for the year turns into $240. A $5,000 pledge right now would turn into $10,000. So please think about how much you rely on WNYC. Place a dollar value on it and make that pledge of support. It takes just a couple of minutes of your time, whether you do it online at WNYC.org or at 1-888-376-9692. We're having this one-day fundraiser here at the end of the year here, just to remind you to make that tax-deductible pledge before the December 31st deadline. Come tomorrow morning, everything will be back to normal, but we're just kind of asking you right now on this one-day drive to do your part before the end of the year. And what a great time to do it right now, this very moment, because your pledge will be doubled right now. You're listening at a great time. Do your part and a whole lot more at 1-888-376-9692 or WNYC.org.
Listener contributions, they do pay for what you hear here on the station on WNYC, however you're listening to us. So give us a call now at 888-376-9692 or online at WNYC.org and become a member now and keep this programming coming to you.
At 7:30 from the WNYC Newsroom, I'm Lance Lucky with a check of headlines. A source close to the investigation says the Belgian capital's main square, thronged this time of year with shoppers and strollers, was one of the suspected targets of a holiday terror plot. Officials say 2 people have been arrested in Belgium on suspicion of planning attacks in Brussels. An Iraqi military commander says engineering teams are clearing bombs from the streets and nearby buildings in the western city of Ramadi, recently recaptured from Islamic State militants. Brigadier General Ahmed al-Balawi says the center of the city is mostly calm, but sporadic clashes are underway in outlying parts of Ramadi. Turkey's president is lashing out at both Syria and its chief supporter, Russia. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has accused Syrian President Bashar Assad's government of mercilessly killing 400,000 people, and he criticized Moscow's support. Turkey is intensifying efforts to diversify its energy supplies since a rift with Moscow over its downing of a Russian plane. Whole Foods says it will pay New York City $500,000 to settle allegations it overcharged customers for prepackaged foods. The city's Department of Consumer Affairs says the settlement also requires Whole Foods Market to conduct quarterly audits to ensure products are accurately weighed and labeled. In June, the city said its investigation tested 80 different types of prepackaged food at Whole Foods and found mislabeled weights on every one. The Whole Foods spokesman says the stores have already put in place third-party audits to ensure pricing accuracy. It's a messy morning commute across the metro area with light rain and fog, but we're avoiding the snow that's hitting parts of upstate New York. There is some freezing rain reported in northern sections of Rockland and Westchester counties. The rain will taper off to occasional sprinkles early this afternoon, high about 53, and tonight 42 below. Right now, rain, 40 degrees, WNYC at 7:32.
WNYC receives support from LV Wood, manufacturers of bespoke wood flooring. Bespoke wood floors are made to order and are all made in the USA. The New York showroom at 24 West 20th Street is open to the public. More at lvwood.com.
You're listening to Morning Edition on WNYC at 7:32. Today on the Brian Lehrer Show, at the annual end of the year news quiz. Call in for your chance to win bragging rights and WNYC swag as you compete with other listeners. So remember the details of this year in news. It's coming up this morning at 10 here on WNYC. A little later on Morning Edition, ice storms, blizzards, tornadoes, and heat waves. Washington Post meteorologist Matt Rogers breaks down December's very unusual weather and looks ahead to the new year. It's coming up in about 15 minutes. This is WNYC. Time right now is 7:33. Roundup over at soundcheck.org. Get caught up on the music news you might have missed while away for the holiday, including this new song from the British rock band Radiohead. It was recorded for the latest James Bond film but was never used. It's called Spectre. Spectre. You can find that and lots of other new music for the new year over at soundcheck.org. Pretty kind of rainy today, mainly this morning. It'll be windy with highs in the mid-50s, and tonight will be partly cloudy with an overnight low near 42. Right now, we do have some light rain falling in New York City, 40 degrees in Central Park. It's 40 in Bridgewater, 44 in Islip at 7:34.
It's Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Steve Inskeep.
And I'm Renee Montaigne. Michelle Burris went for a drive through the rain last weekend. She was checking on her office in southwest Missouri, and the drive gave her a good look at the region's floods.
It was pouring down, raining, and we were trying to stay out of everybody's way. There was sheds floating in the water. Just south of here, about 30 miles, there's several businesses that are completely underwater. Water everywhere. That's the only way I can explain it.
Bruce watched firemen float across the water in an orange boat. They saved a man stranded with his dog.
Elsewhere, strong currents carried along children's toys and even someone's RV.
Huge RV that was taking off and just flying through the water and everything, and when it hit the bridge, it broke apart. The pressure and the strength of water rushing through there and everything has just caused damage beyond what you would believe. I mean, it's unreal.
It was even more unreal for Kenny Cole, who was a junior high school custodian. Over the weekend, he stayed up late to watch the weather. Finally, he fell asleep.
I woke up 2 hours later to 2 feet of water on the stairs going up to my porch, and my porch sits up about 3 feet. So we grabbed all of our kids and grabbed our bags, put them in our vehicles, said, hey, we gotta go, it's coming.
Kenny Cole gathered his wife and 4 kids, including 3-year-old twins. They evacuated their friend's house. The next day, they got a distant glimpse of their home, at least the part that was still above water.
We went back. We could just pretty much see half of our windows and the roof of our house. I assumed for the worst and, hope for the best, and I'm assuming there's nothing in the house. And we pretty much just trying to survive till next month. So at least we're struggling, man.
As if that wasn't enough, Cole reports his car was totaled in a crash. So the family is left with no home and no vehicle and nothing to do, Cole says, except roll with the punches. It's Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Steve Inskeep.
And I'm Renee Montaigne. Where your food comes from and what's in it has been a growing topic of conversation in recent years. And in 2015, big food companies, or at least many of them, got the message. NPR's Allison Aubrey joins us to talk about the big push towards transparency and other trends in food for the year. Good morning. Hi there, Renee. And the first big change we want to talk about is visible right on the labels of our food. Those labels are changing because the ingredients are changing.
Right. Big food manufacturers are overhauling and in many cases simplifying their ingredient lists. We have seen this all year long. Companies such as Kraft and General Mills are both in the midst of big reformulations. For instance, cereals such as Lucky Charms, remember those brightly colored marshmallows? Well, instead of using, say, yellow dye number 5, they're transitioning to spice extracts, so things such as turmeric or paprika, to keep those yellow and orange hues, but making room for something a little more natural. And restaurants such as Subway and Panera both announced that they're ditching all kinds of ingredients that most of us can't pronounce. The big push here is to make the processed foods and the food at chain restaurants seem a little bit more homemade, a little more artisanal.
And Allison, you also did some reporting on another big issue, and that's waste of food.
That's right.
How big a problem is it?
Well, it's a big issue. It's estimated that about 133 billion pounds of food is wasted each year. And to give you a visual here, imagine enough food being wasted each year to fill a big skyscraper like the Sears Tower, now called the Willis Tower in Chicago, 44 times. And this year, the Pope and well-known chefs such as Dan Barber and even the Obama administration all tried to raise awareness about this. The federal government has set a goal of reducing food waste by 50% by 2030. And
how does all that food get wasted? I mean, how challenging is it to make a big change like that 50%?
Sure, well, it's a very distributed problem. I mean, food is lost on farms, then it's lost during processing and transportation. There's also all the unsold food at supermarkets and also what we toss out. Think of that soggy bag of lettuce in the back of your fridge. You know, we've come to expect this dazzling array of sort of eye candy in the produce aisle. Fruits and vegetables that are perfectly shaped and colored. They're blemish-free. Now there are some efforts to sell seconds in the grocery store, sometimes dubbed ugly fruits and vegetables. And these initiatives are good at just raising awareness that, you know, not everything that grows on a farm is perfect.
Well, lastly, in terms of the sorts of issues that cropped up in food during 2015, foodborne illness. The outbreaks linked to Chipotle Mexican Grill have put this issue in the headlines. What's the story there?
Right. Well, unfortunately, if you are a Chipotle shareholder, there's been a lot of focus on the outbreaks linked to Chipotle. Most recently, the norovirus outbreak in Boston that sickened a whole bunch of students at Boston College. But what I should point out is that there are literally thousands of outbreaks, usually smaller clusters that we don't hear about each year. In fact, the CDC says norovirus is the number one cause of foodborne disease in the U.S. And here's the interesting thing. The vast majority of these outbreaks are caused by infected workers. So hopefully the lesson learned in 2015 is that restaurants need to keep sick workers at home.
Okay, well, thanks very much.
Thanks, Renee.
NPR's food and health correspondent, Allison Aubrey. And this is Morning Edition from NPR News. I'm Renee Montaigne.
And I'm Steve Inskip.
I'm John Hockenberry. So the business model is what? You want me to interrupt programming and ask people to pay for something that they already get for free? Brilliant. Wait a minute, how can that possibly work? Hi, I'm John Hockenberry from The Takeaway. I defy any of you to find me an economist, a bean counter anywhere who would have come up with all this. This being public radio. I can't command you people like zombies or robots, you with your college degrees and your bookshelves of fine mahogany. You understand the difference between price and value? Nothing is free. The world doesn't work like that, and neither does this radio station. It all costs. The programs, the transmitters, the web space, the downloads, and of course, the people. People like Renee, Steve, David, Diane, Robert, Terry, as well as all the others. They rely on you to keep public radio on the air and public. Please, for this membership drive, make a difference and support public radio. National, local, support this public radio station. Thank you. And here's how you can help.
You can do your part right now with a quick phone call at 1-888-376-9692. You can also do it online at WNYC.org. And if you do it right now, it's a great time because your dollars will go that much further. That's because your contribution is actually going to be worth so much more right now during this dollar for dollar match. This, in fact, is your last chance in 2015 to have your pledge doubled. Your $100 contribution right now is actually worth $200 to WNYC. Good morning, I'm Satirius Johnson. With me this morning is WNYC's Charlie Herman. And Charlie, you've got the details on this.
The Leon Levy Foundation is offering this matching money as an incentive for you to become a member of WNYC, to take advantage of this one-day pledge period that we're having right before the end of 2015. Become a member now and take advantage of this dollar-for-dollar match. Your $100 pledge becomes $200. Your $500 pledge becomes $1,000, and that keeps the kind of programming that you have come to rely on when you wake up in the morning and you hit that radio and you turn it on, or you go to your computer and you start streaming WNYC. That's all possible because of member support of people just like you who've called in and become a member. It's so easy to do. You can do it online at WNYC.org, or you can give us a call at 888-376-9692 and become a member now.
Takes just a couple of minutes of your time at whatever level is comfortable for you, and you will have your dollars doubled when you make your pledge right now. And we really do hope you do make your pledge right now, because this is a one-day fundraiser. We're just coming on to remind you about that December 31st tax deadline. We'd like to remind you, if you'd like to get in a contribution for the calendar year 2015, well, we'd love to hear from you before the year ends. And what a great time to make your pledge of support right now at this very moment, because we have a $1 match. Make that first time $60 pledge, it turns into $120. Make a $1,000 pledge, and that turns into $2,000. But we need to hear from you right now. And don't forget, those dollars They go into everything you hear on WNYC, all the coverage you hear on Morning Edition, on the BBC, on the Brian and Leonard shows, All Things Considered, Fresh Air, Radio Lab, On the Media. It all is made possible with your help. So we really need to hear from you right now at whatever level is comfortable for you. It will be doubled right now at 1-888-376-9692.